organized by a mutual friend named Frank Jordan, who is now in Timmins. God bless Frank. He brought us together at a meeting, and I love Josie from the moment I met her. Just a warm, wonderful person. She's a teacher and a poet. She's a member of the League of Canadian Poets, the Canadian Federation of Poets, and the Ontario Poetry Society. Josie has won several prizes for her work in both Italian and English. Her poetry in Italian won the jury prize at the Ottawa Italian Week Literary Contest in 2004, 2005, and 2006. She won the first prize in the free-verse competition of the Ontario Poetry Society's 2006 Winsome Words Anthology, and first place in the Art Borealis Poetry Prize for 2007. Josie is the author of How the Italians Created Canada. We did. A non-fiction book released in 2008 by Lone Pine Publishing. Welcome, Josie.
That was a very tough act to follow. And we all know that poetry is either about love or sex or death. And sometimes words fail to convey what we want them to say. And the first poem I'd like to read is called This New Babel. Because I do listen to a lot of poetry and read a lot, and sometimes I do wonder, why do we write? Words have lost their essence. I speak them, and already meaning fades behind the given contexts, superimposed upon their clarity, obscured by the multitude of tongues uttering their babels, like jewels whose shine is lost amidst the tangle of the rudimentary others, tarnished and dull, the tiniest glint of voiceless light, disappearing past the horizon of a singularity, forever imprisoned in the gravity of stone, a golden sentiment dismembered, a heart undone, life a speck of senseless dust within infinity. Horrible story of the colonel that killed all those women. And actually this is not about that, it's about war on the planet. But every time I do write poetry, and usually my poetry is about nature, but this is about the fact that I cannot reconcile what's happening, the evil in the world, and this is called war on the planet. At this very moment, someone is dying. Another Christ is staggering in a city alley or behind a barbed wire wall in a desert to his own Golgotha, the ever-present place of skulls. Random is this death, multiplied to the nth power of blood under the light of our relentless sun. At this very moment, a child is being born, bundles of hope swaddled in innocence, while with their strategic plans and war scrolls, corporations and heads of state wait to harvest him away from his scrip of dreams and lullabies. At this very moment, a poet is writing of men dying, of children hatching in minefields, while scornful, the powerful plot their ploys of gain, unaffected by poems or human tears. Repeat, like the call of a drum, those moments that marked my time. Like murdered gods in white shrouds of history, always there, waiting to be resurrected behind the heavy stones of reason's portals. Corpses, like Jesus, like Holy Ghosts, my divine trinities. Me in love at 21, with you forever telling me that I'm beautiful. Nonna waving goodbye at her door for the last time. My father's final words from a hospital room stretcher, bloodied with the urgency of a ruptured heart, a broken dream. My family on an immigrant ship, 4 demoted gods, kings and queens, bereft of crowns and constellations. Sorry. A ship's glass door lifting up like the globe of a compass, revealing the direction of death's alternative. A ladder and a rescue boat below. Wavering needles in the darkest center of the Atlantic. A country left behind, a bluer sky, a mother tongue, a civilization. Piazzas like the dark pupils of familiar eyes, their hazel streets at dusk, the strands of an iris, golden around the lens of things. Black center points of all future cohesion, from which everything else would spawn, from the tiniest remembered things, like the atoms of the long gone dust of all that matters. I've never been to Sicily, but I would love to visit, and these are just sort of snippets of ideas that came to me. She is the lover you couldn't tame. Scylla and Charybdis' dangerous lure. Her golden skin, a land of sun and temples, of lemon groves, of cactus. Homer's Odyssey of minor Grecia, Rome's coveted pearl. Blessed by Africa since birth with zephyrs and Scirocco winds, dusting her waves from the Sahara. Precious child of Carthage and Troy, Cupid's Psyche, taken with force by blue-eyed Normandy. She is the woman you had to leave behind, the poverty a man must overcome in order to survive. That void in the heart you have tried in vain to fill with newfound worldly pleasures, things to replace her. She is your deep-seated longing, your mother, country, missing half, Mediterranean Eve. A golden pyramid, Antony's Cleopatra, undaunted by fate. Alone against her bitter history of barbarous conquests, pillagings, criminal sons. Medusa's Gorgon lair of unexpected dangers, rising from her deep, dark seas. Screaming, silent outrage. From Messina to Siracusa, under turquoise Aegean seas, Trinacria bears her sun-kissed landscape. Throws back her tropical mane, unveils her muslin mosques, sheds centuries of black Madonna garments. Etna cries out her passion. At dusk, Sicilia chants her ancient vespers, whispers her Latin mantras on strings of warm rosary beads, chaining her to ever-changing lovers, masters, gods, terra patris. And you will think of her often, dream of her, long for her bittersweet embrace. Dolce amaro, like an almond searching for its shell, a child seeking roots, your tabernacle, holy cusp. And even though you haven't been with her for 1,000 years, you will carry her in your heart, like a genetic memory of blood, of family, of race. She is your land, your soil. Though you may walk 1,000,000 miles from her on the frozen tundras of another continent, you will not be able to shake her. The darkness of her curls in your own hair, the olive tinge of her hills in the hues of your own skin, her almond trees blossoming in the telltale shape of your eyes. And again, you will love her, move to her rhythms in the hypnotic trance of a Mozart harp. The wild unshackling of Turkish tambourines, the unexpected thump, guttural human hum, determined heel step, knuckle drum, the strum of blood throbbing at the nape for one poisonous tarantula skill, survival dance. Despite time, despite the distance, her magic will lull you back. And once again, you will succumb to her hypnotic guiles, for you will recognize in her yourself.